Jared Kushner has been using a legal tax loophole, managed to pay nearly zero federal income taxes for the past 5 to 8 years. Joining us now is investigative reporter David K. Johnson. He's the author of It's Even Worse Than You Think, What the Trump Administration is Doing to America. David, thanks so much for being with us. This is basically an issue of real estate business, which Jared Kushner and his family, and also the president and his family, have been deeply involved in for decades. But basically, this suggests the New York Times going over documents that Jared Kushner probably didn't pay any income taxes because he essentially said he had real estate losses every year, correct?
Correct. And, you know, a tax lawyer for another big real estate family once said to me, if you're big in real estate and you're paying income taxes, you should sue your lawyer for malpractice, because Congress treats real estate better than any other industry in avoiding taxes legally.
And again, let me read out loud what Abby Lowell, the attorney for Jared Kushner, says. The documents were obtained in violation of the law and standard business confidentiality agreements. However, always following the advice of numerous attorneys and accountants, Mr. Kushner properly filed and paid all taxes due under the law and regulations. Basically saying the law was followed here, but average Americans may look at this and say, that's not quite fair, that law that allows someone making millions, if not billions, not to pay income taxes.
Oh, absolutely. If you're a homeowner, more than half of the homeowners in this country do not get to deduct mortgage interest or their property taxes. But if you buy a building with no money down, a commercial building, and you can do that if you're a well-established person in real estate, you get to write off the entire building to offset your other income. If your deduction for the year for the building is $25 million and your income is $20 million, you pay no income tax and you got $5 million to use in the future. And that's what the Times shows that Jared Kushner did from the documents he had. And there's no reason for this, by the way. We don't have a shortage of real estate in this country. Imagine if we applied these rules, however, to manufacturing. Maybe we'd have a more robust manufacturing center.
It's interesting. There was a giant new tax law passed a year ago, which closed a lot of loopholes for a lot of people. How many of these real estate loopholes were closed?
It expanded not only those, but gave expanded benefits for private jets. And many people are going to discover next winter and spring, as they have their taxes done or do them themselves, that they will be paying more money because they can't take deductions they used to get and other things. Loophole closings, not so much. I think that's been overdone, but this is a huge change in the law, of which about 80% of the benefits go to the 1% and half of them to people who make $2 million a year and up. That's the 1 in 1,000 best-off families in America.
The point I was making, though, was this deduction for real estate losses. That was very much protected. That was not touched.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The real estate loss was protected and in some ways enhanced. And in addition, there's almost no enforcement of a common area of real estate cheating called 1231 cheating that I've written about for 21 years or so. The government knows how to catch these people, and yet there is no effort by any of the states or the IRS to pursue this form of cheating that costs the government, I would guess, several billion dollars a year.
So Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor, a huge beneficiary of this tax loophole. Safe to assume that President Trump over the years has been as well?
Oh, absolutely. So this is not a loophole. This is a declared policy of Congress.
Right.
However, Donald Trump, remember, used an illegal tax shelter, one that was shut down by Congress within weeks. The Republicans shut it down within weeks of learning about it. But as is usually the case when they find a tax shelter, if you already got in, they let you keep your ill-gotten gains.
And, of course, you bring up the other New York Times report, which does say that the president committed fraud. They use that word fraud over the years to not pay certain taxes. As we get to the midterm elections, if the Democrats take control of even just the House of Representatives, do you think that they will seek to get their hands on tax returns of the president to look into this more? Maybe Jared Kushner to shine a light on this more.
Congress has had the right for forever to get tax returns. They will pull those tax returns. You'll see a thorough investigation. They're just going to throw them out in the public record. They're going to conduct a thorough investigation. And because of the way real estate records are kept, the best area to cheat, if you do want to cheat, is in real estate. You don't want to do it in many other areas because there are electronic records that track your money.
Missed my calling. All right, David K. Johnson, thanks so much for being with us. Do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
We got all kinds of breaking news this morning. The president just weighing in on the controversy over Saudi Arabia and the